We're going to be waiting a few more minutes, 5, 6, 7 minutes for everybody to get here and then we'll get started. Glad you're here. While you're waiting, this is a good time to just quiet your body, get really comfortable. Meditative state while we wait for everyone else to arrive and start shortly after 7. Just begin to feel your heart space particularly open. Maybe take a few deep breaths. We're just going to invite all beings of a higher and enlightened vibration that have our best interest at heart to begin coming into this space where I am and this space is where you are. Filling up the spaces with their presence, with the presence of Source. And you don't have to wait for me or Judah, you can begin just tapping into the presence that's there for you in the moment. Yes, good job. You may even, while we're waiting before we begin, you may be feeling, sensing some messages coming to you or feeling presences in the room around you. Maybe you want to just enjoy it. Drink it into your heart. Maybe you want to write it down. What you're hearing, what you're sensing. Remember that most of the time when angels and other cosmic beings of higher wisdom are speaking to us, they don't come through necessarily a big booming voice like you will hear through my little body here in a little bit from Judah and possibly others, but it doesn't have to come in that way. It can come in just a very gentle thought impression. And so begin to lean into those and trust them, those gentle thought impressions. Because you and I are no different, really. You have the same makeup that I have, and all you have to do is put up your antennas, which is done through opening up your heart and opening your mind to the possibility of higher wisdom. Higher wisdom comes through yourself, through angelic and other cosmic beings. It comes through other people. It comes through channels. And no matter what the source is, if it's really a message for you that's in its right time, it will be in alignment with your soul and in agreement. And something in your heart will leap up and say, yes, that's for me. You guys are already raising the energy. Thank you. Just another minute before we start. It's time. It's time. We're beginning. It's okay. Hey, we have lots of friends online already. We're rolling. Come on up. I can do my sweetheart chat. Okay. That's my sweetheart. Really has to be informal. Answer that. Okay. Let's roll. So I'm Anjie Hipple, and hopefully you know I've already met before, and if not, welcome. We're really glad you're here. This is our little spot in Charlotte, North Carolina, and we have a little growing ragtag band of seekers. I guess that's what you would call us, seekers. And we enjoy each other. We're here to be a family. My sweetheart Chuck is going to be joining us in a couple of seconds. He's heading up, and he doesn't like to be on camera so much. I'll turn the camera on him when he shares, but otherwise we'll just here. So tonight our topic is God's gurus and enemies. God's gurus and enemies. It's going to be a good one. And then we'll have some time for questions towards the end. A question or two. As we're getting started is from my sweetheart's guru. Some of you know he lived with Osho for 7 years in both Pune, India, and also in the United States. And Osho was he's an ascended master now, but he lived on the earth in modern day times and rocked the whole world really with his essence and who he was. And this is what he had to say about God, and I wanted to read it because I thought it was really powerful. I'm going to turn the music down a little bit. Hopefully it's not too much. Yeah. Osho said, man lives in God and is absolutely unaware of it. Man is born in God, breathes in God, and one day will dissolve back into God. Man is God, made of the stuff called God, and yet is completely oblivious to this fact. God is the sea, and you are the fish in the sea. God surrounds you within and without. All that is divine. God is not a person. God is the presence that is overflowing everywhere, in all directions. The radiance, the beauty of existence, the splendor, the majestic, the miraculous, the mysterious, the magic of life is God. God has not to be worshipped. God has not to be lived. And to live God, you need not go anywhere. You are already in Him. To live God, you need not cultivate any characters. God is already the guest. He is your consciousness. To live God, you don't need to become a Mundan, a Hindu, or Christian. He is already in you. And it's not a question of the future. This very moment, God is showering on you. All right, let's see what Judah has to say, and we'll open the floor to Judah and any other beings that Judah brings to the party. Here we go. Come on. I can't get settled until you're settled. Come sit, so I can get started, please. Sorry, we have some folks getting settled here. Sweetie, can you leave it? Can you, okay. I just need you to settle so we can get started. There are people who are with us. Okay. I can't focus. Okay. Mom. Hello, everyone, and good evening. Judah here, and welcome. Welcome to this live channel. We're thankful for your presence wherever you are. And of course, there is in our dimension, no separation of time and space. And so we are all here together in oneness. Now, we have a topic here this evening, so let's dive in. Gods, gurus, and enemies. Which shall we begin with? Well, let's begin with the one that tends to be in the lower vibration, of course, which is that topic of enemies. Enemies. You see, the egoic mind, the structure of the mind, needs to always have an enemy. That is what it is all about. The ego thrives, indeed feeds upon drama and conflict. And if you've ever watched a movie, you know that if it's a good movie, it probably has a villain. True? Yes. And so, in order to have some really good drama in your life, it is likely that you need an enemy of some sort. That's what makes it exciting. And so, the choices for enemies are endless. Your mother, your partner, your brother or sister, your colleague or neighbor, an adverse political party to your particular perspectives. You can make an enemy really of anyone or anything, almost. And of course, you can make an enemy of yourself by creating interior conflict. Your mind is expert at this sort of game, this sort of drama, creating enemies. And if you engage in this sort of drama, then you shall remain stuck in your egoic nature and stuck in problems and troubles. And indeed, many in the culture, particularly in the Western culture, are addicted to having problems and conflicts, dramas. And so they need a villain, an enemy, in order to continue playing out the need to feed this addiction of pain. And so you see pain inside the human is energetic, and it can have many different labels or faces or names. It can be called sadness or despair or grief or anger or frustration or stress or many other things. But basically at its core, it is pain, and it has a characteristic of fear. And so these fearful, painful parts are like little energetic entities inside the mind and body, and they want to be fed. They demand to be fed, and so they will come out every so often looking for sustenance in order to sustain their essence and maintain their dwelling in your being. And so it is an enemy, a conflicted drama, which serves to feed this pain. Now, what should happen if you decide you want to be a spiritual seeker and to grow? What shall happen if you decide to be an enlightened one? Then you must you must starve this entity. And the way you begin to, if you starve it sufficiently and long enough, it shall leave. Because nothing can survive if it is not fed or sustained in some way. True? Yes. So, how to expel this pain? How to gain authority or victory this pain body within? Well, you cease to feed it. And one of the ways you can cease the feeding of this pain is to make a decision from a higher dimension, from your higher self, from your fifth dimensional self, that you are no longer willing to have enemies. That no one or no thing shall be your enemy, no matter how foul they may seem to be to you. For in truth, every enemy is reflecting back to you a piece of yourself. It is difficult to hear that, but it is true. Everyone in your realm is a reflection of some aspect of who you are in your egoic nature. When we say ego, we are referring to the fourth dimensional part of you, your thought and emotional constructs. So if you make a decision that no one shall be your enemy, then that means that your love, your higher love, is for all, regardless of their actions. Now, we're not saying that you excuse their actions or condone them or support them, but only that you love them regardless of their positionalities. And that you can look at that one and see that, as they say, but for the grace of God, there go I. In other words, that could be me. And we would say this: it is dangerous to judge another, no matter how worthy you might feel they are of that judgment, because in the judging of that one, you set yourself up karmically to become them. So, enemies, can you take a new position that there are no enemies, and that love is for all, whether you feel they deserve it or not? You love all, no enemies. Now, other souls, individual souls, be they in the body or out of the body, on the planet or off the planet, they are not your enemies, but we will tell you where the real enemy lies. And the real enemy is the stories you tell yourself, the stories you tell yourself about your past, your present, and your future. Because it is your stories in which you cast yourself as the victim and others as the villain. And so if you can let go of your past, your stories about it, and you can let go of your future casting stories about your future and be in the moment, then you can be free to be your God self. Enemies. Now let's speak of gods. There are vast libraries on the earth and in the cosmos as well around this concept of God. But conceptualizing God and believing in God has nothing to do with experiencing God. So there's always a choice to be made. Shall you conceptualize about God, create an ideal or an imagination about what God is or isn't, or where God might be, or can you be in the moment and simply experience the presence? And we would say we hesitate even to use the word God because it is quite overused and misunderstood. You see, the Hebrew people of ancient days had something right, and it was this. They did not speak the name of God, and they did not write the name of God. When they wrote the Holy Scriptures, when they came to a place in which the name or concept of God needed to be inserted, they left a blank space. Because they knew that to try to define God was an error. Because God is indefinable. Beyond, there is no word, there is no sound, there is no concept or ideology that can contain the mystery of whatever and whoever God is, which is extraordinary. Beyond your mental capacity to understand. But all the masters agree on one thing, and we are speaking of enlightened masters such as the Buddha and the Christ and so many others, Allah, and so on. And were they of religious faith or completely agnostic or atheistic, they agreed on one thing, and it is this, that the search for whatever God is must begin inside, in your own heart. It is said that Buddha's final words were, "Be a light unto yourself." And the Master Jesus said, you are the light of the world. He also said, I am the light of the world. He was not saying, I am the light of the world because he was the only light. He was saying that whatever I have done, you can do, and you can do better. And you can do better, you see. And so the journey has to begin here. And the problem comes when you are constantly looking for God in a concept or ideology or in the structure of a building or an organization or a group of people. You are bound to be disappointed, my dear, because you are the sanctuary. It is you. You are the place. You are the place that God calls home, your soul. And thus brings us to the third topic, which is gurus. Gurus. Are they good? Are they bad? Do you want one or need one? Well, let's talk about that. Here is the danger with a guru. The danger is that you look to another. You look to another and put them on a pedestal as God. And there is no one who can be that for you. The search begins within. Now, there are some who have much to offer. They have wisdom, they have strength, they have understanding, they have experience. And yes, even some have entered into a state of enlightened bliss. And they exist, even if they have a physical body still and live on the earth, their soul is constantly in higher dimensional planes. And do they have wisdom to offer? Most certainly they do. But a true guru or enlightened one, we will say, does not want to be your guru. They want you to be what they are, you see. And so when you come to them, they are constantly pointing you back to yourself and what is going on between your two ears and in your own life and journey. So a guru is like this. If a bird sings, the bird sings for the joy of singing. The bird is not singing in order to advance the concept of music, you see. And if you enjoy the bird singing, yes, well then so be it. And this is how it is the way of a true enlightened one. They are just doing what they are given to do, which is being in presence and being an illumination and being an emanation. And if you enjoy it, wonderful. But they are not trying to use you to create a platform for themselves, you see. And so do you want a guru? Well, if you need one, if you need the structure, if you need the insight, if you feel that you don't have enough light of your own yet, well, so be it. But understand that it is you that gives authority to the guru, not the other way around. It is you who opens the door to that one. And do it with the mindset that they are only reflecting to you your potential and the possibilities. And know that it is you that are the light. And it is you who is expanding. And it is you that are being enlightened and becoming your fifth dimensional self. And so if you see something wonderful in a master, know that it is only yourself being mirrored back to you. So this is the worth of a guru, only to be a mirror of what is possible. If you look at your guru and they incite you and make you angry, it is because you are angry inside. And if you look at your guru and you feel overcome with love for them, it is because you are loving, you see. So above all things, be your own guru, my dear. And if you long to have a spiritual teacher, well, so be it, but understand its limitations. And we will tell you a story from this vessel. Many years ago, she had a woman who was mentoring her. Maybe you might have called her a guru. She did not want such a title or positionality. She considered herself just a friend, but she was much older and wiser and experienced in a particular area in which this vessel needed assistance at that juncture of her life. So mentor or guru, whatever word you choose. And so this vessel entered a relationship with this woman. And she would go to her and work on her issues with the woman. And the woman continually held up the mirror to this vessel to show her who and what she was, the truth, the truth, the truth. You see, the real spiritual enlightened one will always show you the truth, and also with love. This is what is indicative of a true master. They can speak the truth, even the hard ones, but they are spoken together with love, because the truth without love harms. and wounds, and the love without truth gives no solid ground for which one can be upright and moving forward. So back to this mentor. This vessel would go to her at times and ask specifically for advice. And this is what the woman wisely said to her. She said, I will never tell you what to do. I will share with you my experience. But were I to tell you what to do, and you used my advice, and things went well for you, and worked out to your benefit, then you would put me on a pedestal because the advice came from me. And if I were to give you advice and you used the advice and things went very poorly, then you would be angry with me and blame me. But either way, whether my advice worked out well for you or failed you, you will have learned nothing of yourself and gained nothing in the way of trusting your own higher self and instincts. And so, my dear, I will not tell you what to do. And if you decide on your own what to do and things go well for you, then you will have learned some wisdom and you will have the opportunity to celebrate your growth. And on the same token, if you follow your own heart and instinct and your plan fails, then you will have the opportunity to grow and to learn. And so this is why I will not tell you what to do. And this, my friends, is the mark of a true teacher. Thank you, Judah. I'm just going to check in and see if there's anybody else that wants to channel tonight before we take questions. Did you want to share anything? Hello, everyone's Pleiadian sisters here. Thank you for this opportunity. This is what we would like to share in addition to what Judah has shared this evening. And it is this: there are myriads and myriads and myriads of enlightened ones in the cosmos that have walked your ways, my dear. They have stumbled and walked and gotten and fallen and gotten back up again and have gone through extraordinary circumstances in their enlightenment process. And all of these beings, such as ourselves, make ourselves available to you at all times for illumination, for support, to uplift you in your own journey. And there is vast and innumerable help available to you, dear ones. And so ask, and we will be present for whatever it is that you are needing. And know that there are such extraordinary beings in higher dimensions. Would you call them God, singular with a capital G? Well, they are not all that is, but truly if you saw them face to face, if you experienced them in form or even in spirit, you would likely fall on your face in terror from the sheer power and majesty of some of these beings, such as the Archangel Michael and so many, many others. And the wonders and the mystery are unsearchable. And when you cross over into higher dimensions, you will instantly be overcome with the bliss of it all. And we are happy at times to pull back the curtain and allow you to have moments of this bliss, this satori, and feel and experience all the wonder of what is waiting for you. And we agree, yes, in the meantime, understand that there is a wondrous, glorious representation of the universe and cosmos right inside of your chest. So tonight we send you love, 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 and light and illumination for your journey. And light for your path. You want to share before I answer these questions? Do you have anything you want to share before you answer the questions? I do have a question here that somebody submitted yesterday. And anytime you guys have specific things that you'd like to hear Judah channel about, you can go onto the website, thejudahchannel.com, and put your questions in, and we'll try to get to them. So this one is from Glenn, and Glenn's in Ohio, and he said his question is this a specific reality? Is this specific reality a different construct than all the other Earth realities? And if so, please share how this one is different. Okay, let's start with that one. Do you have anything on that? Well, everyone in the cosmos, every soul has a different perspective and fractal experience of reality. In other words, reality is unique to each and every one. And there are too many versions of reality to name or to number. And these realities are shifting constantly in every moment. Every thought that you think shifts your reality. Every thought has an energetic impact on your reality. And so you live, each of you, and also other beings off-world and higher dimensions, live in a construct in which you are instantly manifesting your reality. And so when this vessel gets letters in which one says, well, manifesting, or things are happening to me that I've put, they're the opposite of the intention I put out, well, we have to say, unfortunately, that is not true. Everything happening to you is the result of a thought form. It is an energetic manifestation and response to a thought. And your thoughts are creating your version of reality all the time. And so, my dear, if you want to have a different now in the next now moment and the next now moment, you must think a different thought right now. For you are creating everything in your environment right now at this time. And we would plead with you to stay out of your constructs, your thoughts and opinions, and your stories about your past, because they have the energetic impact of drawing you back into your past, in the sense of the thought and feeling and emotion of your past. And it will not give you what you want, ever. It will only give you more of the same, or worse. So how many realities are there? There are innumerable realities. And two people can be sitting side by side in the same room, having a completely different experience. And all things are created between your two ears. And this is why meditation is so very important, because meditation is like unto a child cleaning the blackboard for the teacher, cleaning the blackboard. You need that clearing in order to think a better thought, in order to create space for a new reality for yourself. So meditate and allow your chalkboard to be cleared, so that Anjie and your higher self can write something new upon the stage, the board, the stage of your life. And so if you desire a new reality, listen to what Judah said earlier, and listen and erase from the board your enemies, and have none of them, none. And also allow your mental constructs of the opinions that you hold so very dear, allow those also to be erased, and all your concepts about God, because you cannot reduce God to a 3-letter word for certain, and you certainly cannot reduce God to something in between your two ears. And if you do, you will experience the consequence of your limitation. And so begin to be a blank slate, open, 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 to be written on by something greater than your egoic structures. So I think there was one other question here. It says, which races of people are here which aren't from Earth but are from different planets? And how do they serve the collective in this reality? Okay, good. Okay, first we will say there are innumerable interstellar races. There are some which are familiar because they have gained exposure in popular platforms on the internet and so on, such as the archangels, the Syrians, the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, Sasanis, and the Zeta Reticuli and Mantoids, and many, many more. There are too many to count, my dear. And as we said, some are more known or familiar than others, perhaps because these particular races and species have been stepping up their intentions and communications with some humans in order to prepare humanity for full disclosure of the reality of other interstellar species. You see, to some of them, you are the aliens, you see. And so why are they here? Well, we will say that each group has their own predetermined and sometimes evolving reasons for working with humanity. Some of them are enlightened and compassionate reasons, and some are not at all enlightened or compassionate. They are more self-centered in orientation. So it is not that different than it would be in a human relationship. Whenever you meet anyone, you use basic discernment. You have some first impression about their intentions or motives. They might be someone that important for you to know, beneficial, helpful for your life or your growth, or you might have something to contribute to them, or perhaps they are someone with whom you would prefer to never see again or have any sort of interaction with. And so it is not any different in your races. There are some that have much wisdom and insight to contribute to your life and understanding and the soul part of you. There are others with whom you have gifts to give, and there are some that you really shouldn't hang out with if you care about yourself. And so use basic practical discernment just as you do in your day-to-day relationships. And we will say, in response to your question, there are multitudes of interstellar races that are cheering on humanity, and they care very much about the progression and overall enlightenment towards love and peace and higher planes of existence, and they are sowing their time. They, of course, don't experience time as we do, so we will say instead of time, they sow their energy and their emanation into humanity as they wish. And it is just as you have free will, my dears, they also have free will, and they are engaged, much more so than humans. They are engaged in alignment with what is important to them and what is important to the overall harmony and goodwill of the cosmos. Thanks for your questions. You want to share anything, sweetie? No? He's quiet tonight. He usually has like amazing somethings to share. Okay, I guess another time. All right, thank you everybody for being here. I just send you all our love, and it's just been a joy to interact with you, and we hope you keep sticking around for the journey, and you know, jump on that community on YouTube and share with each other and encourage each other. We love you. Bye. Have a great week.